Incoming transmission from Novaria.
Normandy! Are you there? Repeat, requesting immediate aid! Please! Please!
Request denied. Setting new course for Caliston.
Many decisions lie ahead. None of them easy.
Normandy! Do you copy? We're under attack!
Incoming transmission from Novaria.
Normandy! Are you there? Repeat, requesting immediate aid! Please! Please!
Request denied. Setting new course for Caliston.
Many decisions lie ahead. None of them easy.
Normandy! Do you copy? We're under attack!
Incoming transmission from Novaria.
Normandy! Are you there? Repeat, requesting immediate aid! Please! Please!
Request denied. Setting new course for Caliston.
Many decisions lie ahead. None of them easy.
Incoming transmission from Novaria.
Normandy! Are you there? Okay, requesting immediate aid! Please! Please!
Request denied. Setting new course for Caliston.
Many decisions lie ahead. None of them easy.
Normandy! Do you copy? We're under attack!
Incoming transmission from Novaria.
Normandy! Are you there? Okay, requesting immediate aid! Please! Please!
Request denied. Setting new course for Caliston.
Many decisions lie ahead. None of them easy.
Normandy! Do you copy? We're under attack!
Incoming transmission from Novaria.
Normandy! Are you there? Okay, requesting immediate aid! Please! Please!
Request denied. Setting new course for Caliston.
Many decisions lie ahead. None of them easy.
Incoming transmission from Novaria.
Normandy! Are you there? Okay, requesting immediate aid! Please!
Request denied. Setting new course for Caliston.
Many decisions lie ahead. None of them easy.
Normandy! Do you copy? We're under attack!
Incoming transmission from Novaria.
Normandy! Are you there? Okay, requesting immediate aid! Please!
Request denied. Setting new course for Caliston.
Many decisions lie ahead. None of them easy.
Good afternoon, my friends. DRBMiller here. How's everybody doing today? I welcome you all to my Twitch broadcast of Mass Effect.
Do you copy?
We talked about Mass Effect here for quite some time.
Incoming transmission from Novaria.
We talked about it, first of all, as my favourite video game of all times, and that is the Mass Effect trilogy. And then we connected it with other favourites, such as Halo and Destiny.
Request denied.
We compared the worlds, the distant universes and
Setting new
galaxies,
course
the
for
battles, the
Caliston.
characters, the in-game mechanics and all else, and we have come to the conclusion that Mass Effect
Many
was
decisions
legit,
lie ahead.
ready to be present here on my Twitch and
None of
these
them
channels.
easy.
And then we started with its broadcast yesterday. That will include the entire broadcast of Mass Effect 1, 2 and 3, with all major missions as well as the sub-quests and everything else that is included. But first and foremost, I wish to say about the things which are happening out there in the world today. All of you who were watching my broadcast on Mixer would be familiar that every single day I start my broadcast with some announcements, some introductions and some news related to this absolutely ghastly, dreadful pandemic which is affecting the world, literally every single country, every single city, town and village, globally, worldwide. Another somber day for us in Britain. More people have died, and we had many more people registered as being contaminated by the virus. Sadly, we've heard today that a very young person of 21 died without any pre-existing health conditions. mean, I personally wouldn't like to be making any conclusions about how this virus is mutating, but certainly of deep and great concern, considering that if younger people are so badly affected, we are likely to be facing yet another danger. Most importantly, I need to say to everyone, in the same way I said it every single day,
Incoming transmission from
if
Novaria.
you go to my Twitter, you'll see the messaging there, which is clearly posted and indicating that what I want everyone to do is basically stay indoors and
Request denied.
basically follow the guidelines given to us by the scientific
Setting new
community,
course for Calistan.
government. So that means you need to be indoors at all times if you are having no work attached.
Many decisions
if you work
lie
in
ahead.
the NHS, stay indoors.
None of them easy.
Worried about your employment or your work, just forget about it. At the moment, we are fighting this battle, this war against the deadly disease, and nothing else is more important, because if you don't do that, lives are going to be lost, and we do not want to see any of that. And I'd like to ask all of our video gamers, first of all, to look at the message. You will have several hashtags in there which you can copy and paste and indeed present to your friends, relatives and everybody else in your community. And the hashtag that you need to, or you can copy and paste, is at hashtag stay at home. So hashtag stay home save lives, hashtag be a hero, hashtag fight the virus, hashtag stay indoors UK, hashtag stay at home UK, hashtag stay at home worldwide, hashtag stay indoors everywhere. Remember, we have imposed this quarantine in order to prevent the spread of the virus, and people have got to be abiding by those rules. People have got to be following these directions. It's absolutely fundamental. If you don't do that, you're endangering, first of all, your own life, and therefore endangering also the lives of the loved ones, people who you treasure the most. That will include elderly, that will include people with pre-existing health conditions, but also it will include everybody, and that means everybody else regardless of their status or indeed their health. As we've seen from various reports coming in to our desk from worldwide, many challenges and many difficulties are affecting health services of different countries, and please can you simply adhere to what's been said by our scientists and the government, and you need to do it. You can see the parliament's been suspended, all the public services have been suspended, but the very necessary ones. And I can't stress this high or hard enough. Keep saying that every single day. People have got to listen to the advice, people have got to stay at home. Give you my own personal example. I presently do not suffer from any great health conditions which are immediately endangering my life, but I've taken the decision to self-isolate already more than 2 weeks ago when the outbreak started, and I literally did not venture out at all unless I had to just get some shopping, which is very near me. Fortunately, I live in a town centre, and that was done 5 minutes before the shops closed, and then otherwise I was spending all of my time indoors. In fact, I can see on myself, after more than 2.5 weeks spent indoors, I can see I'm not getting any vitamin D. There's no sunshine. I'm not actually seeing any sunshine at all, but I leave my window open at night so I can get some fresh air in, and I don't socialize at all with anyone. I don't meet anybody. I'm literally like in self-imposed imprisonment, and it's a great challenge because I lead a very active life and I'm always up and about, and that's been very difficult for me and for everyone else, but there isn't any other alternative. You have got to do what is necessary. Quite frankly, I feel that the measures imposed by various governments are very good and effective, but they need to be a bit more draconian. People need to be taught a lesson if they are not abiding by the rules. Listen to this. In the UK, I've seen yesterday a police force, I think constabulary from West Midlands in around Birmingham area, they posted a tweet indicating that 20 people yesterday, 20 people got together and they decided it was the best possible day to do barbecue for like a major social gathering. Well, honestly, I mean, what planet are you living on? It is unbelievable that you would be wanting to do barbecue when we are facing a quarantine worldwide where people are not allowed to be going outdoors, and you are running your own barbecue in your own backyard, inviting your friends, relatives and neighbours. It's just beyond ludicrous. Fortunately, such people are in a tiny minority. Everybody else is indeed listening to the advice and adhering to the rules, and in my local area for almost 2 weeks, certainly for a good 10 days, we've been a ghost town. There's nobody anywhere. It's just absolutely bare, particularly if you come later in the day not a living soul or living being in sight. You don't even see any foxes or cats or dogs or even flies. It is absolutely deserted, and particularly after the Prime Minister imposed the overall ban on public activities and closed all the pubs and shops, it's become completely deserted, and that is the way it needs to stay. It needs to be like this until we declare that the pandemic is over, that the virus indeed has been successfully fought off, and there's no more contagion. I'm not sure as to why people think they're immune. Nobody's immune. And just think about it. You'd say, well, I have my business to run, I'll go bankrupt. How can you think like that? You may actually go to heaven before you go bankrupt, and that means you will not have any health or life to live if you're not abiding by the rules. It's nonsense. It's really, honestly, as said, the vast majority of people are abiding by the rules, and we've seen, well, certainly in my local area, streets absolutely and completely deserted, but that's not been the case everywhere, and therefore I welcome the government with the measures that will be imposing fines and imprisonment directed at those who are disregarding what is absolutely necessary in order not just to keep indoors, but in order to preserve life. So remember that. Hashtag stay indoors UK, hashtag be a hero, hashtag fight the virus, hashtag stay at home UK, hashtag stay at home everyone, stay at home worldwide, hashtag keep safe, hashtag stay indoors, keep healthy, hashtag stay indoors, prevent the spread of the virus. Remember that. Just pick up some of those, maybe 2 or 3 of those hashtags, and indeed put them on your messages, share them through your Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. Make sure all of your friends, relatives, your community, people who you know are doing exactly the same. By actually spreading hashtags indicating Stay at Home UK, we are making sure that people of all generations are indeed being guided, not just by the government and the scientists, but actually by our own community. I did see in my local Tesco's the other day, when I went for my late night shopping just before they closed, that people were really jumpy, and you could really tell there were maybe not more than a dozen people in this massive big supermarket. They were all basically looking at each other's bags and baskets. They were all looking at how many products somebody picked up, basically making sure that nobody would be hoarding and taking some of the essentials away from others, perhaps people who are less fortunate. And it seemed like a really very tight community working together. On the other hand, I did feel that people on the edge. I've seen some activity that indicated that quite a few people on short fuse and very worried. If anyone sneezed, literally everyone in the vicinity would jump and look at this person for obvious reasons. So, the other thing which is incredible is that in our community, very many people already more than 10 days ago got organized in order to deliver food, medication and everything else to the elderly. And we've seen posters pasted in various pubs in my town centre, people saying just come here and ask for the deliveries and we'll provide. And that's wonderful because it's all done charitably. People got organised, and it was all coming out of somebody's self-initiative, which literally had spread out immediately. So it's a really good community spirit, people really working together voluntarily. And then we've seen since yesterday, as the Health Secretary asked for 250,000 people to volunteer to help the National Health Service, the requirement was filled within literally a few hours. There were more than 250,000 people who subscribed, volunteered. They have to go through obviously health checks and through criminal record checks and the police check and all that, and it was wonderful to see that the nation was so well organized and prepared to help. So anybody who is not disciplined or is not really realizing how serious this is, they need to really look up at those volunteering, because those people are going in the harm's way, and some of them will catch the virus as they are fighting the disease. And that is commendable, that is noble, that is incredible in every shape or form. And we really have to first of all show our appreciation and gratitude to every single citizen who signed on a dotted line, and thank you. I really want to say my heartfelt thanks goes to everyone, because you are indeed on the front line and making sure that you're helping our community and preserving life. I'm quite certain the same type of mobilization will take place in other sectors. That will particularly be visible with the enforcement services, with the police and the army. I just hope that the virus is going to be killed off by the weather conditions, the atmospheric conditions. Maybe some, like what the Chinese indicated, is really very hot and warm weather arising, that there would be a major difference. I don't really know, I'm not a scientist to tell, but I just hope that something's going to happen atmospherically that is going to be preventing the spread of this virus, in addition to all the heroic efforts of all the medical, scientific, civil services staff everywhere in our country and worldwide. Think about the countries like Italy that are presently facing the worst possible situation, with the greatest number of deaths and a very, very large number of people infected by the virus, and the infection simply not subsiding regardless of the measures that have taken. They have very, very high quality health service, and all of their services are really of the highest possible standards, but still the virus is so dreadful and had been spreading so fast in their communities that they face this absolute pandemonium. And our hearts and thoughts and prayers obviously with our Italian brothers and everyone else in the region who's being badly affected. In Croatia, for instance, on the top of this dreadful virus pandemic, they also had a major earthquake, 5.5 on Richter scale, and the beautiful central areas of the city. If you're familiar, Zagreb does have, the Croatian capital, one of the most beautiful city centers in Europe, had been very badly affected. Many people made homeless, and many historic buildings and historic treasures were completely obliterated, and that is just beyond any form of comprehension. Fighting the virus to the best of your abilities and then being hit by a major 5.5 Richter earthquake, it is just absolutely ghastly. And my hearts and obviously my thoughts and prayers are with everyone affected there. Hope you people will be getting the best possible support and aid, and that everybody gets housed and nobody's suffering longer term contingencies. And certainly I hope that everybody will be sticking together, displaying a form of unity, and most importantly, in a situation where you're facing the pandemic together with an earthquake, what's important is to keep social distancing and make sure that you're not mixing with other people, even if the panic sets in, because mixing with other people and not keeping the distance will unfortunately spread the virus even more, and that is completely and utterly of grave concern to us all. So once again, just to end my introduction, which is obviously in this instance based and focused on all that we need to do in order to prevent the spread of the virus, to keep safe, to preserve life, to be a hero, is simply to stay at home. So once more, hashtag stay at home UK, hashtag stay indoors UK, hashtag be a hero. Once again, hashtag stay indoors UK, hashtag stay at home UK, hashtag be a hero. So the message I have on my Twitter tells you the following. I said on my Watch Mixer broadcast, you must stay at home and follow the guidelines given to us by the scientific community and our government. Be a hero and become Commander Shepard, Master Chief, or Jill Valentine now. And you have hashtag stay at home, save lives, hashtag be a hero, hashtag fight the virus, hashtag DRBMiller. So most importantly, you have to stay at home to fight the virus, to prevent the spread of disease. And also, if you're staying at home, why not switch on Mixer or Twitch, which are our online gaming broadcasting channels. Browse the channels and find a channel that you really like, and find a channel that's providing you with a jolly, positive, optimistic, upbeat content, and then start talking to others in there through the chat forum, or join a party, or communicate through various apps. You can do that on Xbox app or here on PlayStation app. You can get communities together, share some of your thoughts and views, tell us what you're doing, tell us what games you're playing, tell us how difficult it is to be constantly indoors and what challenges this is presenting to you and your everyday existence. Get your hands and forces together with everyone around the world and make sure that you're talking and sharing your experiences, because this is how you are going to be feeling, first of all, not isolated. Secondly, you'll have new connections, friends and bonds made with everybody around the world, and you will feel really supported and helped. Don't forget, there are lots of other support groups on the internet, and they are specifically concerning people's psychological health. You can really approach those. Do not go to some odd groups, go to the official ones, because you have many of those set up by various health services and charities, and you'll be able to engage, communicate, and indeed make new friends and connections with those forums, within those forums as well. So once again, keep in mind, we are facing one of the greatest challenges that we've ever seen in our lifetime. It's the greatest epidemic that the world's seen since the First World War, and at that time it was Spanish influenza, the pandemic that killed millions of people worldwide. And at that time we did not have the means of communication like today, and the world was very differently organized. So today we obviously can stand united once fighting this dreadful disease, and we really have to be abiding by all the laws, rules and regulations as imposed on us by our governments and the local authorities, and we've got to abide by that. Once again, to end up my introduction, I'll just say hashtag stay indoors UK, hashtag stay at home UK, hashtag stay at home save lives, hashtag be a hero, hashtag fight the virus. Right, so I talked a bit about Mass Effect earlier, and Mass Effect is indeed a wonderful space opera. We've had it delivered for the first time, if I'm not mistaken, in 2007, and I played it on my Xbox 360 very extensively. In the old days, I played it on several characters, had several playthroughs, and it was just a really wonderful experience. Mass Effect is one of the greatest, kind of the most expansive games ever created. I guess the other, we have today, the games with new content coming in all the time, like Destiny, to the Division 2 and many other games like Elder Scrolls, but it's not quite the same, and the difference there is that this is a single player game where you are in fact as a single player controlling a team of 3, and you have an abundance of content to get through. There are lots of different stories, quests, sub-quests and all sorts, and you've got to be really methodical, really systematic. I tell you what, you've got this Citadel, which is like a massive big base, their headquarters, and it's full of all sorts of people, and various characters are popping up in hallways and corridors at various stages of the game. So what's very important is that you're not using the fast travel all the time, because if you're doing that, you're literally missing out on massive big chunks of the story. So use it for fast travel when it's really essential. For instance, you need to save lives of some characters who are under duress, they're being jumped, or they're being assassinated. You have like 2 or 3 minutes to save them. Then you use fast travel, you get there. But otherwise, just walk and familiarize yourself with Citadel, get to know where things are, and as you walk you'll discover all those other characters. They'll be presenting you with many different tasks. We spent yesterday quite a few hours just working on the prologue, which is quite extensive, and then dealing with all side missions which were present here quite early in the game. Many of those were related to the activities on the planet which we visited, where we discovered that the beacon was tampered with and the massive big explosion caused unnecessary deaths. We discovered that Spectre, called Saren, is basically a traitor. He needs to be hunted because he's working together with the Dark Forces in order to destroy humanity. And we discovered lots of other interesting bits and pieces which are giving us a prelude to what is otherwise a absolutely wonderful, amazing story. And this game has a lot of action, but also it has an abundance of dialogue and activity on the story front, and I really love it for that reason alone, because I love films, I love motion pictures as we know them, and I love watching them in picture houses, in theatres as they call them in the US, or cinemas as we call them in the UK. And I also like those video games that are somewhere in between the two worlds. It's like a film that you enter and you become an active participant, and then you're not just destroying the enemy, but you got the good story when you're putting kind of various pieces of the jigsaw puzzle together and finding out what needs to be happening in order to resolve whatever the conflict appears to be on your screen, and bringing it to a successful conclusion. You want to make your character to be a hero, and I think that in hindsight, I played Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 for more than 2,500 hours, and absolutely adore the game. It's wonderful and really fantastic concept. After revisiting Mass Effect for the first time in about 6 or 7 years yesterday, I was reminded of the fact that this model of both linear and non-linear storytelling, because don't forget, you got the main story, your main missions, it's the main quest, right? Your selection of your main pointers in terms of what you need to be doing here in this intergalactic universe. The two of them together work really, really well. I think that with Destiny, the game is being kept more contemporary because it's completely non-linear in storytelling, but you are missing this major thread of telling you what's actually happening in here, like for instance in Star Wars Clone Wars, and that's the reason, almost certainly, as to why Luke Smith, the game director, and his team are absolutely spending their time at the moment on the RPG element. They want to incorporate that which they feel was perhaps to a degree absent. I think it worked beautifully with Halo, but Halo was not as expansive in terms of the story and side missions compared to Mass Effect. So, it's the best of the two worlds when you play them together. But I really, fell in love with the game again yesterday, and there's so many different things to do here, and you realize what the beauty of it really is. It's in dialogue. It's in quirky characters, in explorations, in finding out what the characters need to do, and also, very importantly, at the time, 2007, this was the most advanced game, I think, of all times, you were being given options which will alter the plot. So depending on how you're reacting, depending on what you're saying, whether you're abrasive and aggressive, or if you are polite and attentive, the story will basically unravel before you. You'll get different characters and different outcomes. There are many, many different outcomes here. I think Mass Effect 2 had the largest number, and I don't remember exactly the figure, but it was, very, very in three-digit figures. And it also dependent on literally everything. How you built a character, how many missions you completed, how many side quests you've gone through, how many characters you talk to. So really, anyone who's a collector, completionist, could really spend their lifetime on Mass Effect Trilogy. They will never be bored, and the replay, possibly if they choose another character. And don't forget, I think there are, in this game, when you start at 3 types. One is the soldier, the other one is a character who grew up on the streets, and the third one is somewhere in between. And obviously the background will affect the behavior. And what is important, similar to the games you play with, the games you played made by Quantic Dream, and they're very well known for developing the similar sort of concept of options and decision taking that will affect the overall activity. What's important is that when you decide playing, let's say, a character like myself, soldier who's been raised in a military family, you need to get in the mindset of this character, right? You got to be that character, and then as that character, you need to stick to the way you are interacting with everyone. So if you're polite and attentive, just stay diplomatic throughout the game. Don't swing from one to another. Well, you can if you want, but I think my preference is to keep literally within my own character structure. So if I decide to replay the game, I'll do it the other way. I'll be abrasive, aggressive, and menacing to others, and then the entire plot will change, and you will get lots of different situations that otherwise you wouldn't have seen in your first gameplay. That makes the game extraordinarily interesting, and compared to the multiplayers in here, you will get that outcome that is changing on the inside, and that's not really very, very frequent in the games of this volume. We've had, I think, Detroit Becoming Human, recently Become Human in fact, and it did have the same sort of aura, as well as other Quantic Dream games. They don't have an infinite number of options, and because they are single player games, you will have certain sections that are being replayed in exactly the same fashion, but the outcome will be different, particularly when it comes to the ending. So I guess these are the games for a particular kind of fan, not for everyone. And I know that people who are into Battle Royale would say, well, not really into this because we are not competing against other people, and when you're in Battle Royale, every single match is a different story. But it's just, we want to have things on offer which are sufficing us in terms of our own choices and preferences, and if we like playing an adventure game that gives us, let's say, 50 or 70 different outcomes, well, that's really for that particular type of game. But Battle Royale is not for everyone. Battle Royale is very fast, and it's demanding, and particularly if you have maps like the ones in the Crucible of Destiny 2 or the early maps of Apex, they're very much like death matches. You could be really fast, and you need to train yourself what to do. You need to have a good team, and in here you can relax and you can replay certain missions. You won't be penalized, and you build your character, and so it depends really on what you like the best. So it's been absolutely wonderful to come back to Mass Effect 1 yesterday, I really want to say one thing which is very important in here, and everybody really needs to take this on board. Twitch channel's been around for about 18 months. I've not been broadcasting much in the last 3 or 4 months because I've been reworking the whole strategy on my online broadcasting and really thinking of the best way forward. So I've reworked the whole system. No longer am I tied just to one platform, which was PlayStation 4 and Twitch streams on literally everyday basis. We have 2 platforms to stream from. One is Twitch, as always, on this channel, and we have also Mixer, which is a new platform, a relatively new platform offered by Xbox, and this is primarily focusing on Xbox exclusives and Xbox gaming community. It's very well kind of blended in with a variety of online forums. It's a very good forum to make new friends and connect with gamers worldwide. Not always to get people popping in to your Mixer stream to say hello, but you will get them mostly on Xbox app. If you're an avid taker of clips or screen captures, you will get many people connecting there, and they will be connecting with you with private messages, with likes, with requests to join the games. And the way you do it is you basically take screen captures of your favorite sections of the game and you share them in a particular club which is dedicated to that game. So I have like the achievements club, and loads of people post their achievements in that, and you get lots of people who come in and ask, how did you manage to complete this? It's very difficult, it's very rare, and this is how you make your first contact and how you carry on with all other approaches in due course. And it's a very, very good, well integrated system. And you also have people leaving postings on messaging forums on the net, which are Microsoft forums, and they say, how did you like Bless Unleashed or Call of Duty Warzone, the one, the Battle Royale has been recently released. And you get very many hundreds, sometimes thousands of responses coming in at all times. Sometimes people respond even a couple of weeks later, and they will always look up the person who has been leaving the message. The benefit of being an Xbox ambassador, and that's what I am on Xbox, is that you have a particular responsibility, and that is to promote ethical gaming, to make sure that the community is properly regulated, that there aren't any trolls or individuals doing unpleasantries in public forums, and also most importantly, you're there to help other gamers, be it on the gaming front in terms of some sort of request resolution, or in terms of any technical problems, because as Xbox ambassadors we are tied into Xbox support, and therefore we can relieve the burden from the team in there in order to ask certain questions. There are sometimes very easy questions. For instance, you have a major problem with the server, which is well reported, we know all about it, and then hundreds of messages keep coming in saying, what's happening to the server, can't we get my achievements, I can't connect, can't log in. Well, that's it's obviously a very straightforward answer, because we get notifications as well indicating that there's a problem. Sometimes people have some issues on the console, on the way games are launching. There's quite a variety of different questions that come in at all times. But the idea is for any Xbox ambassador to first of all be friendly, attentive and kind, very diplomatic, very polite, very civilized, very cultured, and an ambassador needs to have that drive to help others, helping others, and that means everyone else is at the bottom of being an Xbox ambassador. So if you're interested, look it up, have a look at my website, have a look at my profile on Xbox, which will tell you all about how to join, and find out really what I've been doing and also what other guys are doing. What's interesting is if you are connecting with the other gamers who are requesting assistance, the way it works is you get a particular app, which is an Xbox app called Responder. So you get all the Twitter messages coming in, you connect that with your Twitter account, and then everything you do there is posted on your Twitter. So for instance, somebody asking about we had some questions about Call of Duty. The problem was with the server during the last couple of days, and we have Xbox ambassadors answering those questions. I mean, I take up the question and some other Xbox ambassador joins in, and then after it's been posted on our mutual Twitters, we get other people, other gamers who are actually not even playing anything on Xbox, but they know more about the problem. They all come in and help. So the capacity for connectivity is absolutely amazing. It's much superior to what we have on PlayStation, I have got to say that, with heavy heart, because I absolutely adore my PlayStation and my community there. But the community is not as interactive. The vast majority of PlayStation gamers make connections through broadcasts on Twitch, and that obviously is down to Twitch, rather than the actual app or anything else provided by PlayStation. So Xbox from the beginning had remained superior on that front. Also has to be said, if you're an avid Xbox fan, gamer and subscriber, you will get lots of freebies. You will get lots of freebies every single weekend if you have Xbox Live Gold, usually up to 3 games, and these ones are, you know, top blockbusters. You can play them 24/7 on the weekend. We've had games like Rainbow Six Siege the other weekend. Last weekend there was what was it? A couple of weekends ago it was also Overwatch, and we had Sea of Thieves this weekend, and then there was quite a selection. All of them AAA blockbusters, and you can try it. Oh, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, that's right. I actually played it quite extensively this weekend and streamed it on Mixer. Absolutely wonderful game. I've not played it before, and loved it, enjoyed it, and I'll carry on playing it. I just have to wait for the price of the Ultimate Edition to drop a bit. Still quite expensive, and then we'll carry on with our streams. So in addition to that, if you are a subscriber to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, you will get everything there, more than 100 blockbusters, and many, well, I'd say all Xbox exclusives, all of them available in Ultimate Editions, all Ultimate Editions, and also you will get instant access to all of those new exclusives that are being released. For instance, we had, what was the game called? I played it the other day. Just bear with me. Too many games, you know, and my brain gets shriveled. A lot of information to keep in mind. So, Bleeding Edge, of course. Just brain went dead. Bleeding Edge was released yesterday, and we played beta about 10 days ago. It was the weekend before last. A new fighting game, which is similar to Battle Royale games, and it does have the sort of aura of Fortnite and Apex, but actually primarily it's a fighting game. It's not really a tactical shooter, and it combines the elements of Bandai Namco, which you would have seen with, you know, all kinds of fights and special abilities and some really lovable characters, absolutely amazing characters in there. Really very enjoyable to customize, to create and to interact, very sociable. They also have favorite clips immediately after the match, which are automated, and you can kind of like them. And you also have well, just so many different outfits that you can share, and the characters are really funny. That game is a brand new game released yesterday and accessible through Xbox Game Pass on its day of the release immediately, and you get it straight away to your console. Download it and play it without any extra charge, just on the subscription fee. So really, I'd say Game Pass is a no-brainer. Everyone should subscribe. I subscribe to the Game Pass Ultimate, so I get literally everything. That includes Xbox Live Gold, subscription included, and also I get my games having the access to PC downloads, and that's also wonderful if I wanted to do that. I'm not doing that at the moment, but you know, you do Battle Royale games, you know, playing them on PC will give you some advantage because you use keyboard and mouse. You can do that on Xbox as well, but people usually report that the processing power of your ordinary Xbox is nowhere near as good as the one you get on a high top-end gamer PC, which is obviously to be expected. And I've had some messages yesterday, to be honest, several messages yesterday, saying that they're really angry that crossplay has been enabled on Warzone, Call of Duty Warzone that is, because they played very well and they got obliterated during the last kind of 5 or 6 teams that remained there, and it's that all these teams were playing on PC. Well, evidently, because having a top-notch gaming rig with your keyboard and mouse and also your ultra-fast broadband will give you a massive, insurmountable advantage in any battle royale or any multiplayer as it goes. So anyone kind of questioning skill, if you want to polish up your skill, you have got to have the fastest fiber optic internet or the fastest speed of the internet that there is on the planet, as well as the top quality equipment. If you don't have that, doesn't matter how good you are, you're not going to be able to perform. In fact, I had some people coming in on Apex, it's like a little while back, but a year ago, top-notch competitive esports players of Battlefield and PUBG, and they played Apex. They were just completely gobsmacked because there were some technical issues initially that were based on server access, and in UK we were kind of lagging behind, we were delayed even if we were on fiber optic, and it was visible. I was in a team with one of the guys and absolutely perfect aiming abilities and skills. He could really hit anyone with his sniper from any distance, and he would fire his action. From close range, even with close range weapons, and the other character simply wouldn't perish. So he would empty out the whole magazine, and the other character was still alive, and the opponent's mate showed up, and bang bang, we were all dead. So that's very, very important to keep in mind as well. Right, we talked about all sorts of things so far, but the time's come fast to crack on with some action. So Mass Effect 1 it is, and we are going to be proceeding. I need to see first of all what needs to happen first. I believe we are to be departing from our Normandy ship. I was being brought back to the sequence prior to what we completed yesterday, so I'm not sure why. Because I was in Normandy and we were to crack on with our travels, so I need to double check as to why that is. Just bear with me. Don't want to be tampering with this just in case that we are bumped. Citadel Rapid Transit, so let me see where we are first of all. Look at the map. Yes, we are not where we should be. Okay, so because we want to go directly to Citadel, to Normandy, we'll just have a look here. Like I said earlier, do not use fast travel lightly. I need to see something else here. Exit. Talked so much and I forgot to double check my journal. Well, this is annoying, and I'll tell you why. Because yesterday I did indeed speak to the ambassador. The whole last section didn't save. I've gone through it and it didn't save at all for some reason. I don't know why. Because everything else, I've gone to this, we actually completed the whole thing, and we also made sure that we were on Citadel and just about to depart. We looked at the map, the way it's used, but we'll have to go through this again. So it doesn't matter really, because we have the benefit of being on Twitch today. Just to reiterate what I said earlier, all of my streams of the major games, and that is the biggies like Halo and Mass Effect and Destiny, are now basically spread out across two platforms, Mixer on Xbox and, well, shouldn't say that, Mixer and Twitch. Doesn't matter what platform I'm broadcasting from, but that is the way it's going to be. So a bit on Mixer, a bit on Twitch. We want to really join our communities together. The reason for that method is very simple. As we approach Christmas, all being well, we are going to be having new consoles introduced, PS5 and the new Xbox, and then the Project X Cloud, which I'm testing at the moment. I forgot to tell you this here on Twitch. I'm one of the guys who is testing Project X Cloud, and absolutely wonderful, wonderful, wonderful service so far. It is in its preview mode, so we're not testing everything, but we're just testing the quality of their streams, the actual picture and sound picture. Muddle up in here. We're testing its own audiovisual qualities, right? And the service at the moment is offering a selection of Game Pass titles, which you can then access on your tablet, on your phone, or elsewhere. And you will need to have your Xbox new generation Xbox controller with Bluetooth connectivity. You connect your controller wirelessly through Bluetooth to your tablet, and then you crack on with the game. And the quality of those streams is much superior to what we have on PlayStation Now services. No major glitches, and picture quality really amazing. So if you are, for instance, somewhere, not today, whilst we are in complete self-isolation, and staying at home. But let's say when the virus disappears, when you are up and about, once we are back to normal worldwide, you could be at any place, like on the beach, or in a pub, or anywhere, and you pull out your tablet and you play a multiplayer, and you just need a controller. So that's really extraordinary. Most importantly, all the data that is kept on the console will be transferred, probably by subscription, to xCloud. So you will be able to, and that will be probably sometime early next year, to access all the content on your handheld devices wherever you are, and that includes also your PC and your tablet and your laptop and everything else. Remember that this is very, very important, and you are going to be able to play those games and maybe do lots of other things. You know, they'll introduce other services. It's not going to be just games, but it'll be watching Netflix together with other guys, very likely, and being in a kind of online video forum, chatting, doing various games with video hookups and doing conferencing. And they probably will want to have also incorporation of Discord style channel, which is bringing everyone together. You know, Microsoft always look at proprietary stuff, and very, very exciting times ahead of us. So really that is the way forward, and once we get that, the prerogative for many developers will be cross-platform access for the games, and it may create a bit of competition amongst the companies, maybe a bit difficult for some indies, as they may lack resources and budget to do this, but certainly the games like Destiny and Elder Scrolls and, you know, PUBG and Apex, etc., all of them will have to be cross-platform, because that is how people are going to be able to access them, you know, and having that service, having xCloud is likely to be also, I guess, bribing other companies to come in and subscribe. Most notably, we've heard already that Sony will be using xCloud for their services, and they already had some partnership agreements on that front. So cross-platform and access me wherever you are is going to be the next big thing. So what I want to do in the period preceding it is to bring my communities together from various platforms. I don't think I'll do my PC as yet, but certainly Xbox and PlayStation, because of the ease of use and, you know, and the quantity of titles available, really the best possible bet. So this is as to why we have streams on Mixer and Twitch at the same time, and we are certainly going to be enjoying all of those, and I'm hoping that people from my community here on Twitch will also be joining us on Mixer. I really want people to support Mixer. Mixer is lagging behind in terms of the numbers, but I find Mixer to be very good. It is an app that is very easy to use. It is simpler and more streamlined than Twitch in some ways. It doesn't have all the options, of course, hasn't been around for that long, and but what's important is it's promoting ethical gaming, and I've got to say I didn't have anybody coming in saying any nonsense or causing any trouble or being judgmental or anything of that sort. And we did have some occurrences of that sort, although in a very, very small number here on my Twitch channel. But on Mixer, that was completely absent. The reason is simple. People know that Microsoft are very, very strict, very determined to uproot anybody who's breaking the rules. So people doing this, it properly reported, particularly if they were to be doing on my channel. You know, I'm obviously representing Xbox ambassadors as well. Then they would face a lifelong ban, and if the console gets basically blocked, then they will not be able to use it. Theoretically, they may use another console under, you know, with a different kind of software, but Microsoft will have a way through which they will detect that it's the same person, and that's most likely to be through the use of certain games, and therefore they will be blocked for life. So I think it is a good method which should really curtail and prevent people from doing things which are not acceptable, and we all who are in the pool of Xbox ambassadors always strive towards that ethical gaming label. We want people to be gaming ethically, which means gaming is there for everyone. There should be no judgment, prejudice, or any sort of unpleasantry out there for anyone to hear at any time. So, Twitch and Mixer, it will be for all of our games here. Right, so it looks like, for whatever reason, It's probably because this is an old game and it's backward compatible. But there were no glitches or any problems yesterday at all. Everything was perfect. But I didn't realize, I mean, I didn't need to be saving manually anything because the game has auto-save, but I don't know. I don't know what the reason was. So what we'll do is we need to complete, or scan the keepers is an ongoing task, so we'll do this as we go along, and reporter's request, we need to see her in the upper wards. We need to deliver it to her, so I think she's literally over here. These are the upper wards. There she is, I was right. Just increase the volume on my game. On my headset, you will not hear anything more.
Word on the street is that you've been busy. Congratulations on taking down Fist. I was sure he was a big player in anything going on here. Did you find anything in his office that could help me?
These OSDs might have the information you're looking for.
You've got Fist's files? This could be even bigger than I'd hoped. Here, Commander, for your trouble.
People need to hear this story. I'm glad I could help.
Thank you, Commander. I'll certainly let you know if I find out anything that helps you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I should go see what's on these discs.
Got some rewards, some XPs and everything. That concludes all the activities here on Citadel prior to our first big mission. Now we are going to go and speak to the ambassador and then depart. So just double check. Okay. CSEC Academy. This is where we need to go to. Just a moment. We'll go to CSEC. CSEC is the security department. Yeah, it says saving content. Didn't save yesterday, so we need to save this manually, I'm afraid, just to prevent the same hiccup. Yeah, that's been saved. I think we probably will need to go inside and then... No, that's the Presidium. Let's go wrong. The CSEC is down there. Oh, we have Noah in here. Hello Noah, how are you doing? I apologize for a late response here to your message. I'm not having my kind of chat windows popping up on my screen for some reason, because on Xbox they don't seem to be always working. Sometimes they provide messages, sometimes they're bad. And Noah says, hey, how's it going? It's been a long time since I've been on the stream. How's everything? Well, it's, I could say, very good as far as I'm concerned, like in my own immediate kind of 2 feet away environment. But otherwise in the UK it is not good. We are facing a complete lockdown on any kind of normal activity in our towns, cities and villages, and suffering from this absolutely deadly, ghastly pandemic. So normal life as we know it is just basically completely gone. We're all grounded, we're all indoors. I mean, I've been already in self-isolation here, although I don't have any major illnesses or viruses, for more than 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks it is, and it's challenging. I've not seen much of sunshine, no sun at all for 2.5 weeks, so I can really feel it on my skin. You know, you can see your vitamin D is quite low. But otherwise, I just intensified with my broadcast here and on Mixer. I mean, inviting all of my community members here from Twitch to join me on Mixer as well. Not many people combine the two platforms, and I'm one of those people who is going to do that in order to bring our communities together. I think Mixer will have a major surge after the new console is launched, and you know, a very good platform as well. So I've had lots of streams on Mixer during the last few weeks, and prior to that I was working on the channel and how we were to be doing broadcasting from now on, really, after doing it for 12 months on Twitch. And I felt we've come within the community to a point where a new direction was needed, and I've come up with a new direction, which is streaming on 2 different platforms and basically bringing communities together and also providing variety stream. We have backbone games such as Halo, Destiny, Mass Effect, and the big ones here and on Mixer, and then we also provide variety streams, particularly on weekends, because the weekends are giving us lots of different freebies and trial periods and new games and all sorts. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday mainly are being spent on those introductions because we want to be kept abreast. And I need to work out what to do with this chat, because you know, if I don't see messages coming in quick enough, that's not really on, and that bothers me because I don't even have a pop-up here on my let me just see as to why that is. Just bear with me, I want to double check. Just double checking to see as to why we have no messages coming up here on chat, but got them on a separate display and I don't see them instantly. I'm really sorry about that. I need to work out what to do, but I've asked the Xbox support team to help me, but they're completely under the weather with pandemic. It's very difficult to get hold of anyone at the moment, so I'll have to just leave it until a later date. So no, yeah, I'm well, and thank you for asking, and thank you very much for popping in and saying hello. And I said also he's been a while. It's been a while since he watched any streams. Well, you know, I watched some streams, I streamed, and sometimes we need to take a break. But I think now with self-isolation and with staying indoors, it's the best time to be reacquainting. And glad you did, and say hello again. Pop in and say hello and connect with us on another day as well. I'm not sure whether the number displayed on the screen is either accurate, so I cannot tell whether we have many people watching or nobody. The reason for that is that the apps here on Xbox are not so well integrated, and I think Mixer works perfectly. Well, not really. I'm not getting any chat on the Mixer as well. I don't have anything, any proper displays on my screen. But I think technically, on the technical front, Twitch app is underperforming on Xbox compared to the same on PlayStation 4. Okay, so we'll crack on with the game. We talked a lot. It's been an hour of all sorts of discussions, and we really want to be... Okay, I've talked to him already, I think. Hang on. These guys here are called Keepers, and they're fundamental for this massive big facility to be properly run. But, I have a task for which I need to be scanning and providing data to a scientist who's exploring what they're actually doing here. There's always a danger that somebody might be hacking into the system and spying, and we are fighting one of the deadly enemies, a character called Saren. He is a Spectre, the top secret Black Ops operative, and he went rogue. He's working against us, so obviously it's very important we keep tabs on every single thing.
Hello, Commander. Show me what you've got.
Sounds good.
So we'll have a look at supplies in here.
Just let me set you up. Oh, this must be a mistake. System's telling me to offer you our select stock. Spectre? Well, Heard about that, but I didn't realize it was you. Sorry, Commander.
Just show me what you've got.
I'll open the rare stocks for you, Commander. Enjoy.
Let's see what money we've got. Alright. Quite a lot of money. So we need to pick up some really good stuff. But we don't have that much money for all these things. In here, when you look at it, you're basically purchasing mods, you know? So we can purchase this grenade upgrade. Let me see. Medium armor human. I'm not sure whether this is strong enough. Light armor. Medium armor. Medium armor Turian. Check this straight away. Oh no, hang on. Comparison, we should be able to. No, the one I've got is superior. Ah, why did it go away? This is a bit
Hello,
annoying.
Commander.
Let me just write the message in there because our friend Noah didn't say anything, so I don't know whether he heard me. Bear with me a second. There we are. We just left a message in there for our friend, and we need to
Show me what you've got.
crack on with
I'll open the rare
with
stocks for you, Commander. Enjoy.
some gameplay here. Okay, so I think I need to be using the X button in order to get out, rather than the other. That was reducing. Let me see, 196. Medium armor. Tyrion. This may be of assistance. I think we'll buy that. Okay. The other things I will not need. I picked it up. So once you purchase this mod, it's very important that you enable it. So you go to equipment. But first of all, I want to see squad. Okay, we have experience points. Well, it's not really. It's the skills points. And we get them as we carry on with the activity, so it's very important we always look at this. I guess every time you finish a quest or finish an activity, always have a look at your character to see they're progressing. If you look at everything we've got here, you're increasing the combat skills and increasing the power of the weapons, but then more importantly there's some special skills like warp, and then you have soldier, charm, intimidate. So these are the ones that are giving you a particular firmness or the degree of pleasantries in your conversations. So I'd say spread your skills points wisely, because if you get your conversational skills enhanced early, you will be getting a lot more content early in the game. So that's the idea. You can see I increased my charm, and I think I'll increase my soldier and intimidate quite a bit. So we'll do one on soldier and one in... Oh no, that's right. That's not right. We'll do... It's quite good. You can undo points if you click them by mistake. Intimidate. Okay, I think that's for shepherds. Then we'll have electronics 1 and decryption 1. We want to use our squad mates primarily for the special skills. And then we have here soul training, and we have soldier. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to look at equipment. So not for him, because I've sorted my character, but I want to see... Hang on, upgrades? Nothing. Okay. Okay, we'll put this one on. First aid interface. Okay, so she's sorted. And then we'll see Ashley. I think she's sorted as well. Now we have toxic seals. I'll upgrade. Okay. Okay, so they're all sorted. So we don't need to worry. Once we get our Frenturian back in, then we'll use that mod that I purchased, and that will be it, I think. Okay, so we're sorted. We need to now go to the lower deck, and then we'll crack on with further discussions. See whether we can use this elevator to get there. No, that's the Presidium. We don't want to go there. Yeah, this is the docking bay. It's a bit confusing because docking bay is opposite. Well, you can see the lift. One goes to Presidium, the other goes to docking bay. There we are, all ready. Just remember, Mass Effect is a massive, big, very massive space opera.
Reports that one of their survey teams has gone missing in the Hades Gamma cluster. When asked why communication with the survey team was suddenly cut off last week, company officials refused to comment.
You get some radio bulletins in here, similar to what you'd have in The Division. Obviously, The Division being a much newer game than this one, so it was very, very advanced at the time, and very, very enjoyable. Just bear with me. What I want to do is I want to post this image. Oh. Got some more messages on support. Okay, we are going to be answering these. Avid Tinted is asking, I can't update it because when I plug in my controller it doesn't turn on or light up or anything. I've spent countless hours trying to fix it. I went so far to take it apart, well, to see whether there was something wrong on the inside. Well, it's very likely that the problem is with its connectivity, or I remember there was an image that the gentleman left indicating there's a problem with power supply or connectivity because it looked like the batteries were low or something. And let me see what I answered. Oh, I see. Okay, it was about his PC rather than using the controller on the PC. Okay. Okay, we'll have a look at that very, very shortly. So, bear with me. What I want to do is I want to just upload this image to my Xbox app. Okay, so just give us a second. The reason we do that is basically to draw attention to the game, and also we want to bring people in to watch, to connect, to communicate. So that is going to be a regular occurrence where we take some screenshots live on air and then we throw them in for people to view and to connect with us. Perhaps pop in. You can see we have lots of people liking the activity. We have Psycho the Hyena. He's just vibing. Astro Cyborg. Pair of shoes. Disturbed nerves. An F user. So there's some Cyrillics in. I can't read this. 9116. Brave Heats. Nicole's. Lots of people are liking the images that are posted in there. So that's really cool. And corresponding. Let me see very quickly whether anybody else did post anything, because otherwise it's just going to be my postings, and that is definitely of grave concern. I don't want anyone to. No. Okay, so we'll go for captures, and then we'll say we have this picture we put in this club, which is Club N7. It's the biggest Mass Effect club in there. And we'll say now we are departing. We are departing. Let me just say we're departing for our first major intergalactic Now we're departing for our first intergalactic adventure. That's exactly what we are doing. To double check whether that's been posted properly, and then we can crack on. It's taking us a while to get there to that loading bay, got to say. That's it. That's all done and dusted. So now we can relax and play the game. Okay.
I've got big news for you, Shepard. Captain Anderson is stepping down as commanding officer of the Normandy. The ship is yours now.
She's quick and quiet, and you know the crew. Perfect ship for a Spectre. Treat her well, Commander.
I'll take good care of her, sir.
I know you will, Commander.
I want the truth. Why are you stepping down, sir?
You needed your own ship. A Spectre can't answer to anyone but the Council. And it's time for me to step down.
Come clean with me, Captain. You owe me that much.
I was in your shoes 20 years ago, Shepard. They were considering me for the Spectres.
Why didn't you ever mention this?
What was I supposed to say? I could have been a Spectre, but I blew it? I failed, Commander. It's not something I'm proud of. Ask me later and I'll tell you the whole story. For now, all you need to know is, I was sent on a mission with Saren, and he made sure the Council rejected me. I had my shot. It came and went. Now you have a chance to make up for my mistakes.
I won't let you down, sir.
Saren's gone. Don't even try to find him. But we know what he's after. The conduit. He's got his Geth scouring the Traverse looking for clues.
We had reports of Geth in the Pharos system shortly before our colony there dropped out of contact, and there have been sightings around Noveria.
Find out what Saren was after on Pharos and Noveria. Maybe you can figure out where the conduit is before he does.
The Reapers are the real threat.
I'm with the Council on this one, Shepard. I'm not sure they even exist.
But if they do exist, the conduit's the key to bringing them back. Stop Saren from getting the conduit, and we stop the Reapers from returning.
I'll stop him.
We have one more lead. Matriarch Benezia, the other voice in that recording. She has a daughter, a scientist who specializes in the Protheans. We don't know if she's involved, but it might be a good idea to try and find her. See what she knows. Her name's Liara, Dr. Liara Tassoni. We have reports she was exploring an archaeological dig on one of the uncharted worlds in the Artemis Tau cluster.
The colonists on Pharos might still be alive.
It's your decision, Commander. You're a Spectre now. You don't answer to us.
But your actions still reflect on humanity as a whole. You make a mess and I get stuck cleaning it up.
I'll try not to make things any harder on you, Ambassador.
Glad to hear it, Commander. Remember, you were a human long before you were a Spectre. I have a meeting to get to. Captain Anderson can answer any questions you might have.
Yes, Commander?
How are you holding up?
Honestly, this isn't how I pictured my career coming to an end. Pushing papers really isn't my thing. But you're the one who can stop Saren. I believe in you, Shepard. If that means I have to step aside, so be it.
Any extra intel you can give me on our colony at Pharos?
The entire planet used to be one giant Prothean city. Mostly ruins now. But some of the infrastructure is still intact. The colony tried to build on what the Protheans left behind. We lost all contact with them when the Geth attacked.
I want to know the truth about you and Saren. I want to know about the mission you were on together all those years ago.
We had intel on a rogue scientist being funded by Batarian interests. He was trying to set up a facility to develop illegal AI technology out in the Verge. Alliance intel had done all the work, but the Council wanted a Spectre involved. We compromised. I was assigned to help Saren in his investigation. We tracked the scientist to a refining facility on Kamala. He was hidden away somewhere inside, protected by an army of Batarian mercenaries. The plan was simple. Sneak into the plant, capture the scientist, sneak back out. Quick, quiet, and a minimum of bloodshed.
I'm guessing things didn't go as planned.
Saren and I split up to cover more ground. Then about halfway through the mission, there was a massive explosion in the refinery core. Officially, it was ruled an accident, but I think Saren detonated it on purpose to draw off the enemy guards.
How many casualties?
The explosion tore the refinery to shreds. The whole place was on fire. Black chemical clouds poured out into the atmosphere. Nobody inside survived. There was a camp for the workers and their families nearby. Between the fires and the toxic fumes, the final death count was over 500. Mostly civilians. Saren didn't care. The target was eliminated, mission accomplished, and I ended up taking the blame. That ended all talk of me joining the Spectres.
Saren caused the explosion. How'd he pin it on you?
In his report, Saren accused me of blowing his cover. He said it was my fault the guards were ready for us. He claimed that's why it turned into a massacre. Saren's report was all the proof the Council needed to kill my chances of becoming a Spectre.
Why'd you let him get away with it?
Who do you think the Council was going to listen to? Me? Or their best agent? I had a bad feeling about him right from the start. I should have been more careful. Maybe I could have stopped things before they got out of hand.
Don't blame yourself, Captain.
I don't. I blame Saren. I think he wanted things to go bad. He was looking for an excuse to blow that refinery. Maybe he just likes the violence. Maybe he was just trying to make me look bad to keep humans out of the Spectres. If so, he pulled it off.
The only thing I care about is stopping Saren.
You're right, Commander. It's no good living in the past.
What do you know about the Artemis Tau cluster?
Not much. I've never been there myself. A handful of systems with a few small, uncharted worlds, but no real colonies. Might not be easy finding Dr. Tassoni out there. My advice is to look for the world with the Prothean ruins.
I want to know the truth about you and Saren. I want to know about the mission you were on together all those years ago.
We had intel on a rogue scientist being funded by Batarian interests. He was trying to set up a facility to develop illegal AI technology out in the Verge. Alliance intel had done all the work, but the Council wanted a Spectre involved. We compromised. I was assigned to help Saren in his investigation. We tracked the scientist to a refining facility on Kamala. He was hidden away somewhere inside, protected by an army of Batarian mercenaries. The plan was simple. Sneak into the plant, capture the scientist, sneak back out. Quick, quiet, and a minimum of bloodshed.
The only thing I care about is stopping Saren.
You're right, Commander. It's no good living in the past.
As you could see, we learned quite a lot about all that's happened between Saren and Captain. Captain suspected Saren for being the terrorist, but there was very little he could do when he faced the music from the Senate, the Council as they're called here, and therefore he was prevented from becoming a Spectre. Evidently, Captain does have deep animosity lodged against Saren and some of his accomplices. And it's going to be myself, DRBMiller Shepard, Commander Shepard, who's going to be dealing with this. So let's just crack on with our first mission. This whole section didn't register yesterday, so we are going to be saving it manually. There you are. I don't know why it's not saving in here. I should have done, because we've gone we've gone to the ship and talked to everyone. And
Stand by, shore party. Decontamination in progress. Decontamination in progress.
I heard what happened to Captain Anderson. Survives 100 battles and then gets taken down by backroom politics. Just watch your back, Commander. Things go bad on this mission, you're next on their chopping block.
Captain Anderson should be the one in charge. It's like I'm stealing the ship from him.
Yeah, the captain got screwed. But it's not like you could have stopped it. Nobody's blaming you. Everyone on this ship's behind you, Commander. 100%. Intercom's open. If you got anything you want to say to the crew, now's the time.
This is Commander Shepard speaking.
We have our orders. Find Saren before he finds the conduit. I won't lie to you, crew. This mission isn't going to be easy.
For too long, our species has stood apart from the others.
Now it's time for us to step up and do our part for the rest of the galaxy. Time to show them what humans are made of.
Our enemy knows we're coming.
When we go into the Traverse, Saren's followers will be waiting for us. But we'll be ready for them, too.
Humanity needs to do this.
Not just for our own sake, but for the sake of every other species in Citadel space. Saren must be stopped. And I promise you all, we will stop him.
Well said, Commander. Captain will be proud.
The captain gave up everything so I could have this chance. We can't fail.
Yes, sir. Commander, something you need?
How's the Normandy performing? Is she everything they said she'd be?
She's the best ship in the fleet. If you've got a pilot who knows how to handle her. Balance isn't what you'd expect. Takes a while to get used to that oversized drive core we got stuffed in the back, and her power can sneak up on you if you're not careful. The Normandy's probably too much ship for your average Alliance pilot, Commander. Lucky for you, I'm anything but average.
I like to know my crew. Mind if I ask you a few questions?
I can see where this is going. You did a background check on me, didn't you? Well, I'll tell you the same thing I told the captain. You want me as your pilot. I'm not good. I'm not even great. I am the best damn helmsman in the Alliance fleet. Top of my class in flight school, I earned that. All those commendations in my file, I earned every single one. Those weren't given to me as charity for my disease.
I'm sorry, Joker. I didn't even know you were sick.
You mean you didn't know? Oh, crap. Okay, I've got Vrolik syndrome, brittle bone disease. The bones in my legs never develop properly. They're basically hollow, too much force and they'll shatter. Even with crutches and my leg braces, it's hard to get around. One wrong step and crack! It's very dramatic, but I've learned to manage my condition, Commander. Put the Normandy in my hands and I'll make her dance for you. Just don't ask me to get up and dance unless, you know, you like the sound of snapping shin bones.
Why does everyone call you Joker?
It's a lot shorter than saying Alliance Flight Lieutenant Jeff Moreau. Plus, I love to make little children laugh.
I was just thinking how much you remind me of Santa Claus.
Look, I didn't pick the name. One of the instructors in flight school used to bug me about never smiling. She started calling me Joker, and it stuck.
Why didn't you ever smile?
Hey, I worked my ass off in flight school, Commander. The world's not gonna hand you anything if you go around grinning like an idiot. By the end of the year, I was the best pilot in the academy, even better than the instructors, and everybody knew it. They'd all got their asses kicked by the sickly kid with the creaky little legs. One guess who was smiling at graduation?
I need to know more about this Vrolik syndrome if I'm putting my ship in your hands.
Yeah, of course you do. It's an extremely rare condition. Nobody knows exactly what causes it. Genetic, maybe. It's treatable, but there's no cure. They classify my case as moderate to severe. I was born with over a dozen fractures, hip, thighs, ankles. My bones were already breaking in the womb. 100 years ago, I wouldn't have survived past my first year. Lucky for me, modern medical science has turned me into a productive member of society.
You're not gonna break a bone trying to fly the ship, are you?
I don't fly with my feet, Commander, so I'm fine as long as I'm in this chair. I gotta be real careful when I get up to take a piss, though. I can do my job as well as anyone on the ship. Better, actually. So don't worry about it.
I'm not trying to make you uncomfortable. Let's talk about something else.
Whatever you want, Commander.
How'd you end up joining the Alliance?
Look, if you're looking for an inspirational tale of the crippled kid overcoming impossible odds, you're gonna be disappointed. My mother was a civilian contractor working for the Alliance. I basically grew up on the Arcturus station back when they were building up the fleets. Spend all that time around Alliance ships, there's a good chance you'll end up going to the Academy.
I have to go.
Alright, see ya.
We learnt a lot about Joker. He's really a lovable character and the best pilot in the galaxy. Very happy to have him obviously here with us. Let me see. We'll speak to others, you know, try different characters in here. And then we'll look at the map, which is what we did yesterday. Not many people are here at the moment. Navigation manual. These chaps do not want to talk to us. Navigator Pressy. At the moment he is busy. This is the map. Okay. Actually, we want to read this for you yet again. Read it yesterday. Supposedly constructed by the long-extinct Protheans, this colossal deep space station serves as the capital of the Citadel Council, Gravity is simulated through rotation, and it is a comfortable 102 standard Gs on the wards and light 0.3 standard on Gs, standard Gs on the Presidium ring. So I got the size as well. So we zoom out. We need to be zooming out a bit more. Finding. Mind you, what we didn't do, I need to decide what mission we're gonna pursue first, because don't forget, on one planet there are some survivors, but our priority also is that daughter of that female. I think she's I can't remember where she is. She's an ambassador priest, and she needs to be tracked as well. So we need to find out what's really our utmost priority. So Lara Sony, that's Artemis Tau, okay, and then Geth Attack. Okay, so I think we probably go to Ferros first and get the interest. Yeah, so we'll go to Ferros, Geth Attack first. Okay, so we need to find Ferros. So enter the map, look for Ferros. Okay, so we need to look for Ferros. Argus, Horse Nebula, Naviria. Ferros is here. Okay, we found it. Ferros is up there, so you can see, very nice and very easy to... This map is still very advanced, I must admit. Even 13 years later, this feels really cool. There we are, traveling to another system. Normandy is ready to depart. We've gone. Saito is shrouded by a high-pressure atmosphere composed of carbon dioxide and sulfuric acids. The surface is composed of geologically young plains of volcanic basalts and rhyolites with high concentrations of carbon and radioactives. Saito is rapidly volcanic. A dozen supervolcanoes, 50 to 120 kilometers wide, are erupting across the planet. Saito carbon content and constant volcanism make the natural diamonds plentiful. It is, if extremely costly and dangerous to recover. So this is a really dangerous planet. I think we said we go to Ferros, right? Ferros. Exogeny Corporation has founded a pilot colony on Ferros to explore the Protean rains that blanket 2/3 of the planet's landmass. The atmosphere is fouled with dust. Terrestrial travel is hampered by crumpled debris dozens of meters deep. There are indications that Ferros was a much colder world in the past. Ferros has 2 large moons, Orkan the Father and the Vardé. Founded 2178, 300 population, capital, exogenic building, orbit period 3.2 Earth years, radius, etc. So these are all different types of messages in there. Travel to Ferros. Land. We are about to be landing. What are we going to find there? Is the biggest question of all. Still looking very good after all these years, and the game's not been remastered. Just remember how good this would look if the game was being remade. saving content. Okay, that's reassuring. There was this glitch, to which we didn't get.
If anyone
Proper
has to
save.
take over for Captain Anderson, I'm glad it's you. I'm not sure about having non-humans on our ship, though.
We're all on the same team here, Presley.
With all due respect, sir, that's what they said about Nihilus. Look how that turned out.
Speak freely, Presley. I want to know if you have a problem with non-humans.
It's not that, Commander. Humanity has always handled its own problems. Saren attacked one of our colonies. We should be the ones to stop him. We don't need their help.
Some people think asking for help is a sign of weakness. That's just being stupid and stubborn. No matter how strong you are, allies can make you stronger.
I guess so. Maybe I'm just stuck in the old ways of thinking. But don't worry, Commander. This won't be a problem.
How did you end up assigned to the Normandy?
I signed up with the Alliance as a navigator right out of school, following in my grandfather's footsteps, I guess. My first posting was on the Agincourt. We were at Elysium during the Skillian Blitz. A massive fleet of alien raiders hit the colony, trying to wipe it out. They had the numbers, but their ships were no match for an Alliance frigate. It was a slaughter. We couldn't even keep track of how many ships they lost.
How'd you end up on the Normandy?
I got my officer's commission after Elysium. Must have made an impression on the right people. Captain asked for me when he was picking his crew.
How did you end up assigned to the Normandy?
I signed up with the Alliance. They had the numbers, but their ships were no match for an Alliance frigate. It was a slaughter. We couldn't even keep track of how many ships they lost.
Carry on, Presley.
Yes, sir.
Alright, we learned a bit about Presley and how he joined, some other information. Probably need to choose our team in there, and I think we'll examine the comms link. Okay, so that's when we want to be communicating. Maybe up here, I think I'll talk to Joker, see what he's got to say.
Something you need?
I have to go.
No, it doesn't
Alright,
tell us anything. So we're ready to get out. We need to choose our team every time we depart the ship when we are engaged in these intergalactic adventures. So the team needs to be carefully chosen. We are likely to be facing unknowns. So I'll tell you what we'll do is we'll take Garrus first of all, and we'll take Rex because they're really top fighters. So we examine the squad. It'll be Garrus, Rex, and me. Okay. Before we do that, we'll need to check Garrus's kit because I purchased the mod that's going to make his shield much stronger. So it's very important, right? Right, accept the squad. Once we land, I'll do that. Citadel is monstrously big. Wish what life would look like in such facility. Well, I'm not going to be experiencing it in real life, I can tell you. Some of you may. Loading takes a bit of time, but actually the game looks very, very good here on Xbox One, I have to say. Don't know whether they did any remastering or anything. I don't think that remastering is instantly visible, but could do really with a proper redone by BioWare. brought to the present day and age kind of standard, but still looks very good, very modern, very contemporary. I think the game's going to look always contemporary with its content, and remaking it would take quite a bit of time, I think, considering the quantity they've worked on this game for quite a few years. Loading for a long mile. Well, let's get to the planet, shall we? And then deal with the enemy. Well, I want to thank Bandai Namco US for retweeting our messages. They're very keen on the fact that I'm streaming Bless Unleashed on Mixer, but today we'll do it here on Twitch as well, so that will be very, very good. And I've say that our presence here on Twitch today was a bit quiet, and there aren't that many people watching the game overall. And I'll go to Mixer very, very shortly after we complete 2.5 hours of Twitch, because we want to have our stream evenly spread out on both platforms. It's an experiment. It's the first time I'm doing it like this today. I'm quite curious to see what reactions we will get, and all the content you'll be able to get on my YouTube channel. I still have to upload all the information, I think today or tomorrow, and you'll have to bear with me, but it will be uploaded soon in tomorrow. We'll have all of those streams that were done on Mixer immortalized, because the difference here is Twitch does have its automated system through which every single broadcast you can immediately upload to your YouTube through video producer section. Mixer is not quite like that. It's a bit more crude. You need to download the broadcast to your laptop or to your computer and then upload it to YouTube. So it's, you know, it's quite similar, but I think it might take a bit longer than what I have on Twitch. We'll have to see. I'm curious to see how quick it will be, because I know that for Twitch transfers, the bigger files, so the lengthier broadcasts do take a while, and I prefer to have everything in numeric and chronological order. But this is sometimes hard to get. Well, this appears to be the first big hurdle we face here. This game is not a multiplayer, and it doesn't want to load the planet for some reason, so we're just loading ready for a couple of minutes. And unfortunately there is nothing we can do in here, as the game is streamed live. Looks like there's plenty of time for us to have a cup of tea, have a breath of fresh air, exercise, have our dinner, have a nap and come back, and still the game would be loading, which is this dreaded experience in video gaming online. We had infinite loading periods on Anthem, also another big AAA blockbuster to come out of BioWare, the developer of Mass Effect. It doesn't look like the planet is going to load. What I will have to do is to load a game in order to get here. Not sure what else I can do. The game is stuck, but actually we should have just brought back to the ship not able to land. The music's gone. Everything is as it should not be. Let's write a message on my chat for people to know what's happening, because they might think that we are just doing pranks. Left a message on my chat saying that we can't do anything, we have to restart the broadcast. For everyone watching here on different platforms, please stay with us, we'll be back very shortly. The game's stuck, we can't progress to the next level. It was to be basically us landing on this different planet, but it's not happening, so we'll need to just disconnect and then come back again. So bear with us, I'll be back very, very shortly. Stay with us please, and we'll be back in no time.